The number one thing that I think that you need is what you have already. Start with what you have already. If you already have a headset, with a microphone, start with this. This is what I started with, and I think before you throw any money at streaming that you should try streaming for at least 30 days before you spend any money on streaming. Hi everybody, Naravia here. Welcome back to part 2 of your questions answered about streaming. So I hope that this video will help you out if you're thinking about getting started streaming. The topics that we're going to talk about today are going to be more tech-based and a little bit more building upon things like what do you actually need to start streaming. So we did a part 1 where I went over the top 5 questions I received about streaming, and so this is going to be sort of building upon that in terms of what equipment do you actually need, what are the more detailed things that you need, and then a few other questions that you guys had about tech and things like audio and cameras and things like that. So let's get started. What is the minimum requirement to start streaming in terms of equipment? So I talked about this a little bit before, but I would say you need a basic face cam. So the C920 is a really great starting option. There's quite a few other options out there as well. There's several other channels that are out there that can help you to determine what is best for you and your budget. I would also say that you're going to need some sort of microphone, but I would use what you have. So if you have a headset such as this headset or something similar that has like a built-in mic, that's perfectly fine. You aren't going to want to use the microphone that comes in a webcam. It's going to sound pretty bad. So I would say use like a headset mic, or maybe something you have, or maybe you already have like a USB mic. I would use that. Otherwise, that should be your number 1 upgrade, should be some sort of audio upgrade. I wish that I had upgraded to something even as simple as this Blue Yeti quite a while before I actually did. I did not put my very first Twitch paycheck to proper use, and I would say that audio and lighting should be your number 1 choices. What else is a good starting equipment? Things that you need starting out. You're going to need something to stream from, so use your PC. Any PC you have nowadays is perfectly fine for beginning streaming, or your Xbox or your PlayStation. They allow you to stream from those as well. If you have a Nintendo Switch, you're gonna have to have a cam link and a computer, so it's not the greatest console to start streaming from. But you're gonna need these basic requirements, and then for lighting, you're gonna need some kind of lighting. But you can literally use like a $10 lamp and a piece of paper over it to make like a makeshift face lamp. You can also get like a little mini ring light camera holder thing on Amazon for like $20. I would say just use what you have. Try to just position your lighting. You can make a camera look so much better with just any kind of lighting. Don't use just like your room's overhead lighting. It's gonna look terrible. I use 2 LED panel lights, and I use a small little ring light just as like a face light. But really anything is better than nothing. So those are the main things. So a really generic camera, some sort of good audio source, and then some sort of lighting source. Those are what I would say is the bare minimum. You do not need a stream deck to start. You don't need fancy lighting to start. You don't need an XLR microphone. You don't need anything that's like a high-end streaming. You don't need key lights, things like that. Like, you can get really good items that are not, you know, top of the line, and they're really great for starting out. You don't need a green screen. I still don't have a green screen. So it's like, it's kind of your aesthetic that you want, but if you're talking about what do you need the bare minimum, those are the bare minimums. So, in terms of commands and panels, so we're talking about what do I need now that I have, you know, 5 or 6 streams under my belt. And I feel like, yeah, I want to do this. So commands, I would say some basic commands that you can have are things like, honestly, I don't really think there's anything that you need to have. The common ones I would say are things that link out to your socials. I would also put in something that maybe has your schedule to start. And I think those are honestly like the the basics. Until you have emotes unlocked and things like that, I don't think that you should go crazy with commands. It can be really annoying and really off-putting. So if you're sitting there and you have 3 viewers and the only movement in your chat is your bot that's just like spamming like, oh, follow me, subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitter. Like, these are things I think can be a little off-putting, and it's a mistake that I made early on as well. I would relax on the commands. I think that having commands just become like sort of natural. So if somebody tries a command in your channel and you don't have one, write that down and then add it next time you go live, or before you go live next time. So if somebody like tries to do an exclamation point alert, like, oh, now you can be like, okay, yeah, I should add alert command or something like that, and make sure it makes sense for your stream and for your branding. So just kind of make sure these things tie together. But I don't think having any like official commands set up are really, really important. But that leads me into another question, which is, should I promote mods? Should I mod my own channel? Who should I promote for a mod? I would not promote anybody to mod unless you are very close friends with that person. I would mod your own channel to start, because it's really easy to mod somebody and it's really tough to have to unmod somebody. So I would not promote anybody to mod until you've been streaming for at least 3 or 4 months. And at that point, I mean, it kind of depends on your growth too, but I would not really promote anybody until you've been streaming for quite a while. Unless they're like a good real life friend of yours or a really good gaming friend of yours. So that's just something that I would suggest. I got lucky. I had some people that I already knew from my guild and some friends in real life that I had mod for me. And I've been really lucky with the people that I have promoted to mod, that they've turned out to be like really great mods. So having a bunch of mods isn't something that you really want. You want a really small team of people that you can trust and people that you are close to. So keep that in mind as well. Audio balance. Audio balance is really tough. There's a lot of things that go into it. You have your software, you have your individual mics, you have room sounds, you have animals, you have car sounds, things like that. There are a lot of really great videos out there on how to optimize your audio. But the #1 tip that I can offer you is to go back and watch your VODs. Did you feel like you had it on max and you still couldn't really hear what was going on? Did you feel like the action parts of your stream drowned out your voice? Do you feel like you were just yelling all the time? Or did you notice that certain things got clipped off? Then you know how to adjust those audio settings. You have to watch your VODs. And when you go through and you notice these things, write them down. And then when you have your scheduled time to work on your stream, make sure that you adjust these things. Take a picture, write down your audio settings, write down what you like the sound to seem like, and then watch some videos. Watch a lot of videos and learn how to really optimize your sound settings. But the #1 thing you can do, watch your VODs and take notes on your own stream. And make sure that you skip to some parts where you knew there was a big action scene or where there was a lot of dialogue that was really important for the story. And make sure that you get those parts nailed down really well. That's what I would do. Next question was, does not having a face cam really impact your viewers? This is a really contentious subject. So I personally think that having a video cam, a face cam, will help you to get people to click on your stream. That being said, there are several streamers who are successful without a cam. And if you feel like you can't stream with a camera, then you shouldn't stream with a camera. If it's don't stream at all or stream with a camera or without a camera, just go without a camera and see how it goes. But you're going to need to do some things to compensate for that lack of face-to-face. So you're going to have to be really, really on it with chat. You're going to have to be really good at conveying how you're feeling through your voice, because that's all that chat's going to have. That's all they know is how you're reacting. So if you have this crazy scene that comes in and you're in shocked silence, chat's like, hello? Hello? Are you there? They can't see your face. They don't know that you're in shocked silence. So you need to be better at communicating how you're feeling, and you need to be really good at that. So I think that there's definitely a place for no cam streams. Something that you could do that's really fun is do better voice acting. Do some really good voice acting and really work with your voice and work with what you've got, and try to do some voice acting and play some story-driven games and things like that. Or be really, really good at a video game. That could also work really well for you. You don't necessarily need a cam if you are highly talented. But that's also just my personal opinion. I have watched a few streamers, and there's a few that I really like that don't use face cams, but the majority of streams that I enjoy, I really like to be able to see the streamer's face. So it's completely up to you. I think that it does make an impact, and it is going to hurt people clicking on your stream, but you can definitely just make that up by having a really engaging and a really good stream and really hook those viewers that do click on your stream. So, next question. What equipment is a must-have versus what is an eventual goal? We kind of touched on this before, but the number one thing I think you need a webcam, and you need a microphone, and you need some sort of light source. Those are the top things that I think you need. Some things that are really nice for once you've kind of leveled up your stream a little bit is a Stream Deck. They are so useful. I have a Stream Deck Mini, and I get so much use out of it. You can also download the Stream Deck app, which I think it's like $2 or $3 or something like that per month. And then you can use your phone or tablet as a Stream Deck. And I think that's a really great way of doing it as well. If you don't want to jump on the full Stream Deck, I think it's really great. The number one thing I would do to upgrade my stream is get better audio. At least have some sort of USB microphone. The next thing I would do, lighting. I think lighting is really important. It makes your shitty C920 camera look like this. It looks pretty good. A lot of people, you know, they're like, oh, I can't afford like a mirrorless camera. I've been streaming for 2 years and I'm making YouTube videos all on a C920 camera. Is it the best camera? No. But does it work pretty well? Yes. And it's pretty reasonable. So I think that lighting is the number one thing you can do to upgrade your camera. Because even when you do upgrade your camera, you're still going to need good lighting. So I would go with audio first, then lighting, then aesthetic. So things like nano leafs, like you don't need that stuff. Things like hue lights, you don't need that stuff. But adding some interesting element behind your stream, unless you're using a green screen. But like for me, I've got some plants, I've got some stuff going on here. And honestly, my stream is a little busy. I think having something a little cleaner is maybe the way to go, but this is what I like, so this is what I go with. I think the Stream Deck is a pretty good upgrade. And then I think that the number one thing that you should upgrade after you do those things would be some branding and some art. If you can't do that stuff yourself, I think that those are a good investment, but don't go overkill. I mean, these are things that are going to last you a long time, so don't be getting new art like every month or 2 months. Like, you know, invest in an artist, a good artist that can give you a product that you're going to use for a long time to come. Or make it yourself. If you're artistic, like make it yourself. That's really great too. The next thing that I think that you should upgrade would be your computer components and upgrading your PC. So I currently have a 1060 graphics card, and it is the next thing that I feel needs to be upgraded for my stream. It's causing frame rate drops, and it's not really powerful enough to play the newest AAA titles and things like that. So it's kind of become a bottleneck for me, and I think that upgrading that is a really, really strong choice. And finally, some things that you can do for your stream after you've been streaming for a while. These are things that I'm just getting to after about 2 years of streaming. I recently upgraded to a new XLR microphone and a mixer, which will allow me to upgrade my audio. I'm currently not using them because I don't have the mixer yet. And that's another thing to think about, is right now it's really tough to get parts. It's really tough to get streaming components. So use what you have to start, but when you're ready to upgrade, think about these things, and I think that'll help you to make decisions on where you should spend your first Twitch paycheck. So that kind of wraps it up for the questions we had regarding components. So I hope that these have helped you. And if you're curious, check out my first video where I go over the top 5 tips I have for streaming and the top 5 questions. And then My next video is going to focus a lot more on the soft side of streaming, so more on the socials, more on the networking, more about the feels of streaming. So look for that video coming soon. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much, and if you enjoyed this video, please click the button below to subscribe and tick the bell, like the video, drop a comment. All these things help me out so much, and I'd really, really appreciate it if you did that. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you found this video helpful. Have a good one. Bye! Hi y'all, Nara here. Thank you so much for watching the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you to all of my subscribers, which you see on the screen right now. If you guys are interested in catching me live on Twitch, you can hit me up on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Central Time and Sunday afternoons at 2 p.m. Central. I hope to see you there. Until next time.